The first aspect of saxophone boot camp is your long tones. Long tones are exactly what they sound like. They're tones that you play for a very long time. Not a very creative name, sorry. But the idea of long tones on the saxophone is different than you might think. If you are simply sitting there blowing notes for a long time, you're missing the point. Every note on the saxophone has its own perfect shape in your mouth, its own perfect vowel shape. For example, the first long tone is a low G. Now, to make that low G have the perfect resonance with my reed and my mouthpiece, I'm making this vowel. Now, you don't use that in normal conversation. Walking up to my friend Bob and saying, "Hey Bob," would not be a very good conversational gambit. If I asked you to hold up a stone and then put it down, that wouldn't be a big deal, would it? But if I asked you to hold up a stone for the next 6 hours, your arm might have something to say about it. The idea of holding a position you're not used to for a long time builds those muscles. Your muscles are not used to because you don't use them in the normal conversation. So to hold your perfect shape for a long, long time is the point of long tones. Now I could go on, but it's not really interesting to watch, is it? But when you do your long tones, you find that perfect shape and then you hold it. How do I know when the shape is perfect? Well, let me tell you. I will make my shape too small, too large, then just right. Take a listen. Now that was on a macro scale. It was really too small and it sounded choked. It was really too large and it sounded like yuck, and then I pulled it into the just right spot. When you are doing your long tones, do it on a micro scale. Listen. Not sure how well that translated over the internet, but honestly, there was a difference in tone. And the better you get, the more of a difference you can make. If you are too small inside, if your vowel is too squished, it will make your tone very choked. If your vowel is too large, it makes it yucky, and nobody wants to hear that. You might as well go out and be blowing on the horn of your car. The just right vowel, which is different for everybody, because your mouth and tongue and teeth and lips and throat chamber are all set up the way you are, plus whatever mouthpiece you have, plus whatever reed you have, plus the strength of the reed, plus the fact that it's an old reed or a new reed. It changes all the time. Here are some general tips, though. Last thing for long tones. The larger the long tone, like for example, if you check your long tones and they have a low B flat, that's going to be a large shape. As I mentioned, the low G. A high G. And then a high F would be like dipping that cat in the bathtub. He's not too happy, and he's going to tell you about it by going, and that is how you get the tiny little high notes. Every note has a different vowel shape in your mouth. Holding the long tones for a long time is like holding a stone up for a long time. It makes the mouth muscles, teeth, tongue, lips, do something they're not used to doing, because you don't use these vowels in conversation, for a long time, thus building them. The reason you do this is so that every time you pick up the horn, every note you play goes immediately to the perfect shape, because you have trained your muscles to do it, boom, like that. Long tones, and I'll give you another word, active long tones, is the art of shaping your muscles and holding the vowel shape until the muscles build and the reflex becomes automatic. And that is the first part of Saxophone Boot Camp, long tones.